Welcome, fellow collectors. This is Respect the Collector, and today we are going to tap into my collection. I know typically I am giving you what's coming out, what's previewed, what's teased, but here's what I collect, and here's what is in my collection. Um, we are starting today with the Transformers masterpiece Skyfire or Jetfire for those of us who love the cartoon. Um, and this figure in particular is what made me rethink my whole Transformers collection. When I'm collecting, I'm thinking of uniformity, right? I want things to flow. I want things to be started. I want things to be completed. And so a lot of the Transformers I've collected over the years have I've either sold off. I have sold off, um, and that's because I either can't collect all of them. I don't want to collect all of them. Um, and the masterpiece line is a little different. So with the masterpiece line, I don't feel like I have to get all of them. Um, but they do. I do like that they are making it cartoon or anime accurate, with scale, with look, um, whether that's in robot form or plane or automobile form, whatever that is. Uh, so I think that's where my collection is going to head next. Um, as for Transformers, this is just Transformers. My Transformers, I'm going to focus more on the masterpiece line. I am going to complete the studio for the movie, for the 1980s movie. I'm going to create complete the studio section. And I also, you can't see, but I want a loose Bruticus. So with that, as always, whether you are a novice, seasoned, or vicariously collecting through the rest of us, this is the place for you. This is Respect the Collector. So here in all its glory is the masterpiece Skyfire. Um, and the price tag may have thrown some people off, but really I thought the price tag was fair given the size of this figure. Um, I have yet to open it, but I was very excited about it. And you can see on the back of this box some of the accessories and the scale of how it actually lines up against your other masterpiece figures. One thing that really sold me on this were the little Optimus Prime, the little Wheeljack, um, and the small Jazz, which I thought were very cool. I mean, because we know in the cartoon, when Skyfire would transform, he's massive. He was already taller than all the other Autobots, but now he's massive. So the Autobots would actually fit inside of Skyfire or Jetfire, uh, which I thought was cool that they paid attention to that detail. The masterpiece line, I keep reiterating this, the masterpiece line, I love the scale. They pay attention to the scale of the cartoon, and that is a big selling factor for me. The price tag didn't bother me so much. I think $265 is fair. Now it may have crept up a little bit. It may be a little harder to find Jetfire, but check your local comic book store. They may have one or two. What really bothered me about this, but I can't be upset about it, I like to collect in a particular way. I like things to look a particular way. So I got this Jetfire, and like the other masterpiece, they come with the shipper, and I really like this black, sleek shipper. Um, but I did not get that with the Jetfire. Please just don't throw the shipper away. Some of us really enjoy the shipper. Don't throw it out. Don't throw it away. uh, it doesn't take up any more space, just keep it in the back or something. I'm talking to you, shops. I'm talking to you. Uh, but that bothers me looking at it, knowing that it is naked out here on my shelves. But again, I got this Jetfire uh, for a deal, so I can't be too mad at it, right? But I am still looking for a shipper. If you out there watching this and you're thinking I have a Jetfire, I don't need my Jetfire shipper, and you want to send it to me, please send it my way. We are going to crack this Jetfire open. I want you to see the size. I want you to see it in some of its poses. Of course, we'll have to speed that up, but I hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it. So after cracking this Jetfire open, I have never actually opened any of my masterpiece Transformers. So with it, you get a little card, a little Jetfire card, uh, with the instructions on how to transform. I will be looking at these instructions. I'm not going to try to transform him just, you know, trying to figure it out. I'm not going to do that. And if we crack this open, let me cut some more. We get Jetfire. And look at this thing is a beast. Look at this. Wings open up. I'm going to be careful to not mess with anything. This just looks fantastic. Right? As here you get the Jetfire himself. We also are getting, sorry about that, we also are getting a stand. Platform for the stand. And here's the cool stuff. We got 3 different face plates. Jetfire's gun, some blasting action. This is the clamp for the holder. Here's another cool thing. You know, originally he was one of the Seekers. You get his Decepticon plate, or his, you know, his neutral plate. This is what sold me. This here is what sold me. This Optimus and this Jazz, this Wheeljack. You know, as I'm opening them again, I'm going to be careful while opening them. And you do even get some articulation with these guys, which is cool. They bend at the knees, they bend at the elbows. I'm guessing they sit, so that's why there's a little hole there, possibly. I don't know. There's also some solid detail in these. Not too much, but enough, right? Let's get back to the Jetfire while it's in airplane mode. Like I said, you can flip these wings out. Do they actually move? Yes, they do move forward. You can also lift. You have the cockpit. You can fit one of the guys in there. There's also, is there a lift here? See, I don't want to mess with it too much, but there's a lot of cool little compartments. Look at that. Cool little compartment where you can pose it where the figures are going in, the little figures that came with it, which is very cool. There's also another here, So if you have the Jetfire legs down, Robotech style. All right, Robotech style, you can drop that down and they'll walk into it, right? Which is also very cool. Look at this. I'm so afraid to like move something the wrong way. But so there it goes. You have it. The guys can walk into it. Dot dot dot. Right. And like I said, I'm gonna go over the instructions a little bit more to see if there is any other hidden compartments. There looks like there's a bunch, but again, you don't want to go pulling at everything. So we'll look over the instructions, transform them, see what we got. There we go. I like it. So with that, I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Um, the Skyfire Masterpiece 57, Hasbro Takatami. Uh, Pros, cons. Pros on this figure: great scale, uh, Great articulation. You can move it. It's very posable, friendly. Uh, it is one of those high grade collector figures, so you have to be cautious on where you're moving it, how you're moving it, but it will give you some give and some flexibility. As far as cons go, I think this is a solid figure all around. If I'm gonna nitpick, I always try to nitpick. Um, it would have been nice if our little figures came with a little figure stand. I know there are little holes in the back of them, so you can get a figure stand if you just plan on posing them. You can get a little figure stand, stick it in the back, and have them stand up to look more presentable for photography or whatever you're gonna do. Um, but outside of that, comment, like, subscribe. Your comments matter. Your likes matter. Um, and I will see you next time. Remember, from my collection to yours, it's always and will be respect.
Respect the collector.